Hello and welcome to this Astranti YouTube sample video. In this video we're going to be looking at just a couple of questions from our PreSeen Test kits, and if you like this video and you want to see more, then please do like the video and subscribe to the Astranti YouTube channel to see more videos on various different techniques, on parts of the CIMA syllabus, and also on exam technique, which is definitely very important for the strategic case study. And so this is a sample from our PreSeen pack, and essentially the purpose of this pack is for you to test your knowledge of the PreSeen. Now, it's not going to be full of exam standard questions because that's in our mock exams. What this is more about is to check that you have read, learned and understood some of the various issues that are prevalent within the PreSeen, because the CIMA examiner has specifically stated that they are constantly and consistently underwhelmed by the amount of PreSeen knowledge that students have. And you can understand this because they give you the PreSeen so far in advance, they would expect you to know it back to front. And it's for your perspective as well, it's very important because you have to reference the PreSeen in your answer. The examiner themselves has stated that. And also, it's a very time-sensitive exam. So you do not want to be wasting your time in the exam rereading through the clean copy of the PreSeen that they give you to try and find information. You want to know enough about the PreSeen so that you pretty much don't need to look at the PreSeen during the actual exam. And that's the purpose of this, to check that you have read and understood the information within the PreSeen. And then we have a series of questions that basically just test your comprehension of the PreSeen. And I'm just going to look at a couple of those questions now. And the first question we're going to look at here relates to Porter's generic strategies, which is an important model within the CIMA syllabus. And you'll note that in the PreSeen, it didn't specifically tell us that ShinePod is using this particular strategy under Porter's generic strategies. It's up to us to analyze the PreSeen in the context of that model. So, thinking about Porter's strategy, which of those is being used at ShinePod based on the PreSeen alone? Well, take a moment to think of the answer, and then we'll go through it. Well, generic strategies are broken down into two main sections about whether you are appealing to a broad market or whether you are appealing to a very specific market, and also whether you are competing on being different from your competitors or whether you are competing by being the cheapest, by being the cost leader. So we can look through those different options and compare them to ShinePod and come up with our decision. So they are a mass market company, it sells coffee to lots of different people all over the world. So we can pretty much rule out the focus. They're not focusing on a very specific, very niche market. They are appealing to as many people as they can. So we can eliminate the cost focus and the differentiation, which means we're left with cost leadership or differentiation. Now, repeatedly throughout the PreSeen, it spoke about quality, even down to the feel and the shape of the pods. And by having all these adverts, which were quite luxurious in their promotion of the brand, having these boutique outlets in city centres that are not there just to generate sales, they're there to generate a brand image. And we know that the particular coffee pods produced at ShinePod are more expensive than other types of coffee, than going and using instant coffee or anything like that. So we can infer that they're not competing in a sense in a cost strategy. The people that they are appealing to are not so much focused on the price, they are focused on the quality of the coffee, and that was prevalent throughout the PreSeen. So we can rule out cost leadership as well. They're not competing by being the absolute cheapest coffee producer on the market. They even pay more for the better quality beans. And they have agreements in place to pay more than the market rate simply to make sure they get the better quality beans. So again, we're ruling out cost leadership. They must be focusing on being different, being better, being of a higher quality than their competitors. And that is the correct answer. As you can see here, it's differentiation strategy, using a cost differentiation strategy, which is where a company operates by offering a different and unique experience. Now, next question, this is again to do with the Ansoff's matrix. The company may want to take advantage of new developing economies as their access to online retailers improves. And we know that ShinePod is a company that sells at the moment pretty much exclusively on their online stores. What kind of strategy is this? And again, it's the Ansoff options plus an idea of emergent strategy here. And you might be forgiven for thinking that it was an emergent strategy because it's, there are new countries that have got access to internet. That's an emerging revelation. Let's take advantage of that. But this is a more planned strategy. They're planning to enter this new developing economy as their access to online retailers improves. So let's work through the various different Ansoff models here. So we've got diversification, so we've got a new product in a new market. It's a very high-risk strategy, high risk, high reward. But they are essentially going to be selling the same goods. So it's not a new product. So we can rule that out. Market penetration is the existing market, existing product. This is usually things like just basically offering discounts, advertising, trying to expand your market share in the industry and in the market that you currently operate. And it's not. It's entering a new country in a new economy. So it's not an existing market. We've already ruled out emergent strategy. We move on to market development. Market development is where you take your existing product and you sell it in a new market. And that is what this is. And that's the opposite of product development, which is where you have your existing market, but you try to sell a new market, a new product into that market. And those are both the medium risk strategies. And that is what this would be here. If ShinePod decided to try and sell its goods on an online shop in a new country, that would be a market development strategy. And so that brings us to the end of this very quick sample. If you would like to sign up for the full sample, then please visit the website www.astranti.com. In addition to this sample, we also have samples of our PreSeen pack. And the PreSeen pack contains several different videos detailing parts of the PreSeen and working through the PreSeen, focusing on the risks, focusing on the financials and the different strategies that they may have. We'll also look at the strategic analysis video, which compares the case or looks at the case in the context of the various different models within the CIMA strategic syllabus, and also our top 10 most likely unseen issues for the exam. And there are samples for all of these on YouTube as well. So if you do subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to look at those. We also have our industry analysis video and accompanying document, which looks at the broader coffee industry and the coffee pod industry. And it's very important that you do use industry examples in your exam. So thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the video if you would like to see more videos based on the case, based on exam technique, and based on the CIMA syllabus. And please do visit the website www.astranti.com for samples in all of these different products and also a sample mock exam for you to use free of charge as well.